One day you'll wake up at 35 and realize you wasted your potential. Nobody is coming to save you. Most people ignore it, but those who do it change their life forever. Armin used to hate mornings, not because he was tired, but because mornings reminded him of who he wasn't becoming. He had goals, big ones. He wanted a better body, more money, more confidence, a life that looked different from the one he was living. Every night, he felt ambitious. Every morning, he felt weak. The alarm rang at 7:30. Snooze, 7:40. Snooze, 8:10. Panic, rush, regret, repeat. The real pain wasn't laziness. It was the quiet voice inside him that whispered, "You're capable of more, but you're choosing comfort." One night, after wasting another evening scrolling, he came across a simple line. If you can't control your morning, you can't control your life. It bothered him, because deep down he knew it was true. High performers woke up at 5 a.m. CEOs, athletes, creators, not because 5 a.m. is magical, but because discipline is easier when the world is asleep. Armin laughed at the idea. "I'm not that kind of person." But that sentence stayed in his head. "I'm not that kind of person." That was the real problem. Psychology says behavior follows identity. If you believe you're lazy, you act lazy. If you believe you're disciplined, you act disciplined. So that night, he didn't promise to change his life. He made a smaller decision. "I'll wake up at 5 a.m. Just once. No pressure, no huge goals. Just wake up." The alarm rang at 5 a.m. His body felt heavy. His brain started negotiating. "You slept late. You can start tomorrow. One day doesn't matter." That negotiation is the comfort trap. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lose to the first argument in their head. Armin didn't jump out of bed. He just sat up. That was it. And in that tiny movement, something shifted. He didn't feel motivated. He felt resistance. But he stayed awake. He walked to the bathroom, cold water on his face, heart beating fast. Outside, it was dark. Inside, it was quiet. For the first time in years, he wasn't reacting to the day. He was ahead of it. He didn't run 5 miles. He didn't build a business plan. He read 10 pages, then wrote one sentence in a notebook. "I showed up." It sounds small, but psychologically it was massive. Because confidence doesn't come from thinking. It comes from evidence. And that morning, he created evidence. But the real test wasn't day one. The real test was what would happen when excitement faded. Because motivation is loud at the beginning and silent after a few days. Day 3 was harder. Day 5 was worse. By day 7, the alarm felt violent. There was no inspiration anymore. No cinematic sonrisa moment. Just darkness, fatigue, and a decision. Here's what most people don't understand about 5 a.m. It's not about time. It's about control. When you wake up early, you're doing something uncomfortable on purpose. And every time you do that, your brain rewires slightly. Dopamine stops depending on scrolling. It starts depending on progress. Armin noticed something strange. His mornings became calmer. His thoughts became clearer. His days felt longer, in a good way. He started working out for 20 minutes, then 30. He planned his day before the world interrupted him. Small wins stacked up, and stacking wins changes identity. After 2 weeks, he stopped saying, "I'm trying to wake up early." He started saying, "I wake up at 5. That shift matters. Because once identity changes, behavior protects it. One night, he almost quit. It was raining. He was exhausted. His mind said, "You've proven enough. Relax." Old Armin would have agreed. But something inside him asked a different question. If you quit now, who are you becoming? That question hit harder than any motivational quote. So he woke up, not because he felt strong, but because he didn't want to betray the new version of himself. 3 months later, his life didn't look dramatic. He wasn't famous. He wasn't rich, but he was different. His body was stronger, his focus sharper, his confidence quieter, but real. And the biggest change? He trusted himself. The power of 5 a.m. was never about waking up early. It was about proving to yourself every single morning that comfort doesn't control you anymore. Because when you win the first battle of the day, you stop being a victim of your habits. and you start becoming the architect of your life. Subscribe to Tale Manias for more stories like this.